Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Chicago Bears.
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Indianapolis Colts and the Chicago Bears. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff. One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. And they tried to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be third down.
He had a good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting has taken over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 40.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. Shreds the tackle.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Watch out, creep. Watch out, creeping. Safety's creeping. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up. Chance. Hatch it. Squeeze. Slap. Kill.
Naeem Hines, his first carry. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Switch. 49, check 49. Check 49. 25, check it go.
Now back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first.
I'm not sure he falls under the category of mobile quarterback, but he's athletic enough that if you don't keep your rush lanes intact, he finds a way to hurt you.
As coaches like to say, I wouldn't call him a burner, but enough there in the tank.
Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Check 37. Check 37. Kill, kill, kill.
Back to throw now on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Check out the free. Whip. Watch the whip. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
No. Check. Fresno. Tighten up.
Out of the gun now on third down. He completes it to Bryant. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 31-yard line. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
As I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Naeem Hines, touchdown number 15 on the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after, right down the middle. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Running the jet sweep with Ridley. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
He's brought down at the 31. That's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 3.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And this is going to be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
They begin the drive with Hines. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
On 2nd down, it's Hines. They'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Complete to Bryant. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. And now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kyle Fuller. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd down. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. To throw is King. From the gun, he'll throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for them, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
They'll start on the ground with Hines. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Check the backer, check the backer. You got tight.
Now it's Hines. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Right here, right here. Kill. Check 4. Deuce. 36. He's crashing. He's checking crash. Switch.
On the carry, this is Pierce. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Open man is Ross, complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
The Colts on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll look to throw here. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 10. and a Bears first down. Now King on first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. 2nd and 10. He's got Burton here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but open.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Now they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21, and he gets this one to Ridley complete. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some.
And they'll go on the ground. And an alley to run. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Chicago. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw deep rights. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Kyle Fuller.
Defense.
Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. This officially a 55-yard attempt.
We're going to shut you down. We're going to shut you down.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
They'll throw now on the final play. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. Bilal Nichols forced his way through, drops him for a loss of 10 yards. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
Under 10, under 10. Jumping. Check, crouch. Check three. Bang.
The setup to throw. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Nyheim Hines, 83 yards. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. King now operating from the gun. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
That's
Here's Hines. Yeah, good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
58's the mic. 58's the mic. Watch the run. Watch twist. Watch the twist. No. Check. Fresno. Tighten up. Check three. Twist. Watch twist. 6 guys. Check 6 guys.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 36. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. A gain of 11 that time and a Colts first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Here's Hines on a toss play. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
58's the mic. I got it. 58's the mic. Rabbit. Check 24. Hey, switch gears. Say, swing.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. This defense tried to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
Check 43. Wall. Get wall. Jim.
Now a give right side. It's Pierce. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Defensively, they rally the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
To throw on 3rd down. King got his man complete over the middle. It's Williamson. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Marking down at the 49. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. This quarterback now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Here's King to throw on 2nd down. This one into the hands of Burton. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone. And now he's just trying to do it for a 2nd time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage. And, again, that 2nd score here in the 3rd quarter. Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
After the loss, here's 2nd and 12 from the 18. They run again with Hines. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Colts. They've got control of the football. They also have the lead as we start the 4th. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. They'll look to throw. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down for the Bears. This quarterback now perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. King. The screen pass here to Cohen. A very solid gain of 27.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Back to throw. King. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up fourth down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
I'm going back to you.
King throwing on fourth down. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Riley Ridley, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. So they fought half the battle here, but they're still down.
Plenty of work still left for them, but they delivered in the first step in their comeback attempt.
Extra point right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. As the Colts offense makes their way out, we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Rolling to his right. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return, and the Bears take over.
Check, 59, 59. Go. Go.
To throw is King. Throwing on 1st down. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen, and he'll get it down here to the 43. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now King from the gun, he'll throw. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Burton. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
King now on 1st and 10. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots in the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
So the Bears with a football here as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. Looking to throw. King. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
Check 15.
They'll run on 1st down. Hines. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop. 1:50 left in the football game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on. Shift. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Watch out, watch out, watch out. He's coming. Double up, double up. He's ready.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And his throw is going to be incomplete. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important 3rd down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Check 53's mine. Check 53's mine. Hey, watch the slant. Patch it. Slant.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Dancing away at the 30. 12 yards on the Turn that time, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So now the Bears down by 7, and time a huge factor. Now their losing streak in danger of continuing as they come up on first down. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at their own 42. Back to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Williamson. The Bears moving hastily in the hurry-up offense. He's back to throw. That's complete to Robinson. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw. His throw incomplete. Trying to get it to Tariq Cohen out of the backfield. 3rd down here. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And he comes back with one complete.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. That is caught by Cohen. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
Where's 52? 52. 52's the mark. Come on, come on.
To throw. King. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Here's King throwing on 4th down. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And his ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Obviously, the excitement level here is almost a fever pitch. Down 1.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. A very important extra point there, up and good, and we may very well be headed to overtime. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. 17-17 the score, all even to this point as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 40. We've got free football. 4 quarters done, and we're dead even. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. Now a first throw here in overtime. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Fielded just inside the 30. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
And part 1 is done, now part 2. Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Here's 2nd and 8. Flushed out right. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Basically, you're not going to outwork 2 guys very often.
Double coverage. I thought he was going to go somewhere else for the football. I get it. That's a stud wide receiver. You want to try to get him the football.
Yeah, sometimes you rely on him a bit too much. You forget the other options that are out there.
SOS. Check it out, read. Whip. Watch me. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. What?
They'll look to throw here. Got a man. It's Ross, complete. And he takes this thing way down into Chicago territory. A huge play there in overtime. 49 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game.
No. Check. Fresh down.
On first down, it's Hines. This carry with the extra effort is going to get him stopped up just shy of the 10. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
In overtime, you have to be smarter than that.
A personal foul just can't happen. Have to have poise.
That one good for 10 yards. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
Switch it.
They'll try to run with Hines. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for Indianapolis, their very slim playoff hopes remain as they move to 6-7 on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they're squarely in play for next year mode now as they drop to 2-11. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin.